Welcome back, fellas, to Would You Rather, completely outrageously, insanely, ridiculously impossible edition. And as always, comment your answers down below. Question numero uno. Would you rather spend 5 years in prison or spend 5 years in a coma? Oof. I like the win-win would you rathers more than the lose-lose ones. These ones make me sad. To be honest, it really does matter what I did to get in prison. For example, let's, hypothetically speaking, of course, say that I murdered a dog and then peed on his corpse and maybe touched it inappropriately. When I then got out of prison, I don't think I'd have any friends, and I think my family would hate me. That would suck. But if I'm in a coma, I don't think anyone's gonna hate me after I wake up. Unless I got in a coma from trying to murder a dog, and then it got me in a chokehold and put me in a coma. I'm just gonna lock in spending 5 years in a coma because I cannot risk dropping any soap in a prison. Question dos. Would you rather have a lisp or have a stutter? Let's assume that in both cases, they are severe cases of the disability. I don't like to call it a disability because it's like, it's not really, it's not like crazy. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So if really asking, would you rather talk like this or would you rather talk like this? Both options are, why can't I just get a win-win option? Give me superpowers or $10 million. Why am I getting these ones? I don't, God, okay. Let me think here. Let me use my big brain. Let me crunch the numbers. And you know what? I'm gonna say, I'm just thinking like, which one is more practical? And I think in either situation, it's tough. And I you know, if you have a lisp or you have a stutter, when I say this, I don't mean any disrespect at all. I'm just thinking in my head, if there's a serious situation, let's say somebody's mother passed away and you have to express your condolences. In my head, I'm trying to play which one is less awkward. So let's role play here. You approach. We'll do the lisp first. You approach your buddy. Hi, fam. I'm so sorry that your mother died. Is there anything I can do to help? Is that a lisp? Lisp. 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 I feel like I'm about to get canceled, guys. Okay, let's do the stutter. Hi, Sam. I'm so sorry that your mother got that yabba dabba doo. No, I'm kidding. Sorry that your mother died. Dude, I'm getting canceled. I am so sorry. This is the most impossible edition of Would You Rather. So honestly, if I'm not canceled by the end of this, then it's wrong. So honestly, by the end, I feel like some people should be mad at me or I didn't do it right. I am gonna lock in having a lisp for this one. I have friends with lisps. I have friends with stutters too. Whatever. Both are okay. You know what? How about that? I love both of these very much. I respect both of them equally, but I'm going lisp. Would you rather always have Adam's hair or would you rather always have Adam's breath? I think I'd rather always have greasy hair because bad breath is just so disgusting. On top of that, since I'm a guy, if it's really that bad and really that greasy, I could just shave it and go bald. And I mean, you know, I might get plunged a couple times. I might get made fun of for, you know, egghead, baldy, 5-head, shiny tip top. But overall, at least it's all fun and games. If someone makes fun of you for having bad breath, that's like a personal attack. That's like, oh man, I suck. I hate myself. So I'd rather go greasy hair than bad breath for sure. Oh my, we got another strong one here. Would you rather eat the same meal for the rest of your life or listen to the same song for the rest of your life? If you had to only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would you pick? I would go pizza, and it's not even close. If I had to listen to one song for the rest of my life, I would go la 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 lava chicken. Oh, Steve chicken it so fine. Nah, I'm kidding. I just saw the Minecraft movie though, so that's just stuck in my head. It's the only thing I can think of at the moment. But anyway, to get back on topic, I'm gonna lock in eat the same meal for the rest of my life because it honestly doesn't sound that bad to have pizza every single day. I would definitely do that. I might even try to do that regardless. It sounds pretty fun. Ooh, here we go. Now we're talking. This is our first superpower. Would you rather? Would you rather have the ability to stop time or the ability to go back in time? Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm gonna say I would rather have the ability to stop time, because I'm assuming that means that I don't age either. Because that'd be really weird if I stop time, let's say for like 50 years, and then I resume time, and now I'm 50 years older. So if I have the ability to stop time, that means I could technically live forever. But if you go back in time, you're still aging as that happens. And also, there's nothing cool in the past, let's be honest. There's nothing cool back there. Everything cool is coming in the future. But what benefit do you really get from stopping time? Everything's just frozen. And then what do you do? There's only so many times that you can stop time to fart in your buddy's face before it gets old. Or would it? I'm going to stop time. I got some ideas. Would you rather lose all of your memories or all of your loved ones forget you exist? Oh, boys. Oh. It's gotta be lose all of your memories. I mean, that sucks. And quite frankly, I don't really have great memory anyway, so for me in particular, I don't think it would be that big of a hit. But if all of your loved ones forget that you exist and they don't even know who you are, then what is the point at all, you know? Because then you don't really have a family, or you gotta make all new friends. Or I guess you could convince your family that you're their family, but there's no way they would believe you. So I think I'd rather lose all of my memories and then have people kind of tell me about my life and who I am. I wonder what they would say. I wonder if they'd be like, yo, dude, like, you're so funny and you're like handsome and strong. Or if they would say the opposite. I'm trying to, like, if Adam lost all of his memory and I had to like explain to him who he was, I think I'd be like, yeah, dude, you're kind of stupid. Your identity, but in a good way. Not in like oh, you're so dumb and everyone hates you. It's like you're so silly and weird and strange, but in a good way. I wonder what people would say about me. Would you rather eat this platter of sushi or give it to them? Is that a rock next to him? What even is that? But anyway, man, that sushi looks really good. The thing is, I love sushi a lot, and there's a chance that he's allergic to sushi, you know? What if he's never had sushi before and I give him sushi and he dies? There's always a risk of that. Then I could go to jail forever. So the safe play is for me to just eat it. And he looks all right. He's chilling. He doesn't need sushi. Need is a big word. Could he like use sushi to his advantage? Sure, but does he need it? No. Do I need it? Also, no, to be fair. Okay, fine, guys. I'll give him the sushi. I will give him the sushi, but I feel like I made some fair points as to why I should eat it. But he can have it. If he dies, if he chokes and dies or is allergic, not my fault. I did my best. Would you rather lose your arms or lose your legs? This one's pretty easy for me, and I've thought about this one before. I would definitely rather lose my legs because you can still be in a wheelchair. You can still move around.
Thought I'd try out my sea legs.
Well, you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant.
There actually are quite a few good prosthetic legs that you can have these days. And if I lose my arms, that means I can't game anymore. And yeah, that would just be the worst thing ever. Would you rather get bitten by a dog or fall into a wasp nest? I would rather I'd rather fall into a wasp nest. And honestly, I think it would hurt more, but long term, there would be less damage, I think. Because I've seen people get messed up by dogs, like faces rearrange and they never look the same anymore, and it's just god awful. Falling into a wasp nest obviously would be terrible and potentially more painful than getting bitten by a dog, but I think the long-term risk is less. So I'm gonna fall into a wasp nest, I think. Ugh, I just hate even the idea of that. Would you rather get stuck in an elevator or get stuck in a bathroom? Why would you ever pick the elevator? At least in a bathroom, you have a toilet and a seat, you know? In an elevator, you're cramped in a small space with nowhere to use the restroom. Plus, there's a risk of you dying if the elevator malfunctions and falls to the bottom. However, I have always... Okay, I was gonna say that sentence without prefacing how weird it is. I will do that now. This is kind of weird, but I have always wanted to pee on an elevator. Call me weird, call me freaky, I know. It's true, and I agree. But if I ever get stuck on an elevator, I'm counting to 30, and if I'm still stuck, I will pick a corner, and I will pee in said corner. It will happen. It's just one of those bucket list things, you know? Now, pooping in an elevator, that seems a bit extreme. I don't know if I would go that far, or at least try not to go that far. But just to have that checked off my bucket list, I'm gonna lock in the I'm gonna lock in the elevator. Would you rather be abandoned in the middle of the ocean or be abandoned in the middle of the desert? Ay, ay, ay. I think I'd rather be abandoned in the middle of the ocean. Both are awful. I just gotta say, both are disgustingly terrible, and in either situation, there's a high likelihood that you're going to die. But my thought process is, in the ocean, you can kind of give up a little bit, and there's still a chance that you could survive because of the current. Like, you could just float there, and the current could take you to shore at some point. In the desert, though, if you give up, you just lay there, and you burn to a crisp by the sun, and then get eaten alive by scorpions and sandworms. So I guess I'll go with the ocean, but drowning is a terrible way to die as well. Would you rather shave your head or shave your eyebrow? Okay, bro. Shaving your head ain't that bad. It's not that bad. I have already come to terms with the fact that I'll likely be bald in approximately 3 years, and yes, I've done the math. So I'm totally accepting of bald people, but not having eyebrows is a bit more strange than being bald. So I would definitely rather shave my head. Would you rather move around by walking on your hands or by crawling? So you have to walk on your hands everywhere or crawl everywhere? Does that mean, like, if you have to cook in the kitchen, you have to cook with your feet? Is that even possible? That seems so unpractical. But your arms would be so strong and your shoulders. You'd be like Larry the Lobster. And I think people would think you're way cooler if you're walking on your hands than if you're crawling around. If you're crawling around, everyone's gonna be like, why is there a fully grown man on his hands and knees walking around New York? I guess you could say the same for a handstand. But at least a handstand's cool. Like, not many people can do a handstand and walk around on it. So I'm gonna go handstand, I guess. Both are super strange, though. Would you rather be a millionaire without a family or be poor but have a family? This one is easy. I'm picking be poor but have a family. They say the wealthiest people on earth are not the richest ones, but the ones with close and loving families. And I agree. Would you rather teleport 1,000 years into the past or teleport 1,000 years into the future? If we are allowed to assume that Earth is still functioning in 1,000 years, I would pick that one. But if there is the chance that, like, we got blown up by ourselves via nuclear bombs, I think I would pick the past. Look, I love people, but I do have many doubts in humanity's ability to not self-implode. I think that there's definitely a decent chance that in 1,000 years, someone will get access to some sort of overpowered bomb that has the ability to destroy the entire planet. And I am not willing to risk that. So I would rather go 1,000 years in the past if we are taking that into consideration. Would you rather always wear wet clothes or always wear itchy clothes? Let's assume here that the itchy clothes are severely itchy as well. It's not like, oh, I have to itch once every 10 minutes. It's always itchy. Itchy clothes are more practical for doing activities. For example, going to dinner, to a restaurant. If your clothes are all wet, you get, you know, the entire seat all wet, even at your own house. Like, if you want to lounge in on your couch, your entire couch is going to get all wet. People are going to think you're weird because they're going to look at you and be like, dude, why are you soaking wet in this restaurant in the middle of summer? If you wear itchy clothes, it would suck for you, but at least you could still do activities without messing up other things around you. So I'm going to go itchy clothes, but it definitely would not be fun. Here we go. This is one that I'm talking about. Would you rather be invisible or fly? Also, you're allowed to toggle the invisibility. You're not always invisible. I'm making that rule up now because who would always want to be invisible? That is super lame. But if you could toggle on and off, invisible, not invisible, would you rather pick that or would you rather fly? I would rather fly. That just sounds so fun. I guess invisible could be fun too. You could spy on people doing things. That sounds cool. You could eavesdrop really easily. You would have to be naked all the time, which might be a little bit awkward. They don't gotta know that. Both would be awesome, but I'm probably going to lock in fly. That would be super, super cool. You could literally fly anywhere in the world. Plus, you could, like, carry somebody, but dropping them would be pretty dangerous, huh? I don't think I would ever try to carry Adam. That could end disastrously. I think I would let him ride me, though. Hey, yo, hold on. I didn't mean it like that. But if you strap, like, a saddle to my back, and, you know, he's all strapped in, he could ride me like, Toothless. He'd be the hiccup to my Toothless. This is getting real weird real real quick. And you know what? I feel like it's a good spot to end it. Make sure you guys are commenting down below because I want to see if you guys disagree with any of my answers. But if you did enjoy and want to watch another one, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and click this video right here.